Welcome inside the best ballpark in college baseball in America, Baum Walker Stadium. It might be 41 degrees and cloudy here at Baum Walker, but in the hearts of Razorback baseball fans, it might as well be the middle of the summertime. It is great to be with you today for Game 1, Arkansas Razorback baseball season.
And Baum Stadium, no doubt about it, it is the best backdrop in all of college baseball. We know that Omaha is the ultimate end destination for Arkansas. And the road back to the College World Series for 2026 starting right here in Arlington, Texas at Globe Life Field. And the Big Trail Nation will be with you every step of the way. But before we can take a look forward, we got to take a look back. And 1 year ago, it ended in absolute heartbreaking fashion at the College World Series. The Diamond Hogs, one of the final 4 teams left standing. The Hogs letting a 2-run lead against LSU slip away with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth for another tough ending to take. Arkansas really emerging as Golden Spike shoe. The Razorbacks now second all time with 3 Golden Spikes Award winners, and 3 have come in the last 10 years. Andrew Benintendi, Kevin Kopps, then Dehivo Aloy, all taking home college baseball's version of the Heisman. Who could be next in line? Ryder Helper, Gabe Gackle this year, 2 preseason All-Americans on the radar for Arkansas. And there is more than one diamond of dominance back in Fayetteville. Courtney Dipel's softball squad, an emerging power in the SEC and NCAA. The Razorback softball team has reached the Super Regionals 3 times in the last 5 years, winning the conference title twice, but is still in search of its first appearance in the Women's College World Series. Norm DeBryan, no doubt about it, he is credited as the architect of Arkansas baseball. He now rightfully has a place in the College Baseball Hall of Fame. But his protege, Dave Van Horn, even better success than Norm ever had. Dave sitting down with the Big Trail Nation team ahead of his 24th season at Arkansas, talking everything from his expectations to exactly how long he thinks he can keep on doing this.
Dave, you seemed so incredibly emotional, and for very good reason at the end of last season, maybe more so in the past. How do you process it? You know, whenever the dust settles, is it, as I said, I know how much you pour into these young kids. I know how much you pour into the game. Is it more about, like, wanting them to win it? Is it more about, what it means to the state? How do you digest all that whenever you have a year like last year?
Yeah, it's, last year's team was just such a fun team to be around, and watching them develop as a team in the fall. We knew pretty quick that we had a special group. Did we know that we were going to finish in the top 4 in Omaha? You never know if you're going to get there. A lot of good teams don't get there. I've had some teams that have gotten there that weren't nearly as good as some teams that didn't get there. It takes a little bit of luck. You got to play good at the right time. You got to be healthy, and you got to have guys that are hooked up. They still want to play. The draft's coming up, a lot of things coming on, and whatever. But yeah, it's when the season ended last year, it ended in such a strange way. It was just an odd inning. I want to get to Omaha every year because that gives you a chance to
pretty
win
much
it all.
have, by the way.
Yeah, lately, I could run through some numbers that are jaw-dropping of how we've done over the last 7 years compared to teams that have won the national championship, and then they've disappeared, or how they fare in league play, which is incredible how we've done in league play. But for me personally, when the season's over, it's almost like I go through a little withdrawal. We all do over here. You get back and it's over, and but we don't have time to sit around and pout. We've got to recruit. We've got to make sure the guys we want to come back. But you just kind of sick to your stomach for a month while you're still working, and it's a tough pull. But I still love it, and winning a national championship's coming. I truly believe that.
That was a special group, and I've heard you say in the past, we've had some really special teams. Is there a moment that kind of clicks for you preseason where you know what you have?
Sometimes it takes a little bit into the real games, not quite preseason. I think going into the season last year, we knew the guys really liked each other and that they were going to be fun to coach. And this year's team is really athletic. If you're talking about the offensive side, we got some kids that can run. We do have some power. We have 4 or 5 of our position players back that have a lot of experience, mixed in a few other guys that are athletic and can do some things. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to evolve. Who's to say? But we do feel like we have a couple, 3 freshmen that are going to help us on the position player side. On the pitcher side, like 4 or 5 lefties with experience. Maybe one of them transferred in, and then we have some righties that are really good, honestly. And they have thrown nothing but strikes since mid-fall. I mean, now we're in the spring, the winter, whatever you want to call it. We're on this side of the holidays, and our pitchers have been lighting it up, throwing it around that plate. And I think it's going to be a little bit of a battle to get on the mound.
Your Golden Spikes winners, I don't think it's fair to say they came from nowhere, but they weren't those, Benintendi and Aloy and Cops weren't really talked about in that space preseason. Yeah. So who's next?
So, those 3 guys real quick, those guys weren't guys that, turned down $2 million to go to college, and everybody's going, they're probably going to win the Golden Spikes. Because there's some kids out there like that every year that turn down a bunch of money, or they're projected big time, and they said, no, I'm going to school, don't draft me. And then they knew they were going to be a first, second round pick. You never know who's gonna win that thing. It's in our program right now. I mean, I don't want to put that on anybody. A catcher to win that award, it's tough because catching takes a lot away from your offense because of the up and down, the grind, the beating you take back there. It's different than playing center field where you just got to know where to go, run and catch it, and then hit, score, do things. But Helfrich's a guy that. He's one of the top players in the country. So, but those are still awards. And I tell the guys, it doesn't matter. You got time to go prove what you can do. And, hey, if our whole team has a good year, we'll have a really good year. It's not about 1 or 2 guys.
Back here inside Globe Life Field, joined out for the trip here by Ailey Weiss, a baseball expert on the Big Show Nation team. Ailey, 4 first-round picks 1 year ago for Dave Van Horn and the Diamond Hogs. That is a program record. They lost so much talent. That team was flat out loaded. But we got some stars on this team too. Gabe Gackle, Ryder Helfrich, Cam Koziel. Who are you most excited to see this year?
I mean, honestly, the 3 that you just mentioned, that's who we've been talking about for so much of the preseason. There's so much hype around these guys. I got to say Ryder Helfrich, though, he takes so much command from behind the plate. You kind of have to be the quarterback in a sense, and everyone kind of puts that pressure on the pitcher, but it's really the catcher who has that.
Catcher's got to be the leader, right?
Right, because they can see everything. They have to be the general out on the field. So I think that's Ryder, and he's the one who calls the games for Arkansas. He's the one who is communicating with the pitcher, who knows the pitcher, and he's got to learn the staff as well. So he pretty much knows everybody on this team.
Dave made it a point preseason to say we do not want to be a transfer portal kind of program. We believe in developing. We believe in recruiting high school kids. There is one transfer out there. You actually worked in the Cape Cod League. This kid lit it up. Mike Anu deciding not to go pro, could have done so as an undrafted free agent. Who maybe should we be looking out for? One of these transfers, one of these newcomers that you're aware of?
I would say either TJ Pompey or Mike Anu. Mike Anu was not on one of the best teams on the Cape, and yet he still won Cape League MVP. I think that's a testament to his talent on the Cape, playing against the best players in the country. He was a standout out there on a team that wasn't playing well, but he still brought the energy, and he just has this vibe to him. I don't really know how quite else to put it, but he just is kind of a bright light and brings that atmosphere and energy to every practice. You've seen it in the month or so that Arkansas has been out on the diamond at Baum.
A quick thought, I know you're excited to get to Baum Stadium, but how cool is this? Arkansas
cool.
Fans, come down here and check this out, right?
As they should. I mean, this is my first time here, and I was walking in just taking in the scenes. It's awesome. There's plenty of red that we've been seeing walking around the stadium. Arkansas red, not Texas Tech red.
We begin in the Dallas Metroplex, something close to about 20,000 expect tonight. Hopefully we're going to end in Omaha. Also want somebody to end at the College World Series. That will be Courtney Deifel and this Arkansas softball team. Ailey, they have been so close. Arlo and Evan Chemico sitting down with Courtney Deifel coming up after the break.
You're watching Pig Trail Nation Game Day.
Back here inside Globe Life Field, Arkansas baseball getting going here in the state of Texas. Arkansas softball. Already that season is 1 week old. We have a preseason baseball and softball special. Courtney Deifel taking this job at Arkansas a little bit over a decade ago and truly taking the program to new heights. Arlo and Evan Chemico taking some time with one of the best softball coaches in America.
Excited to be joined by Arkansas head softball coach. That's Courtney Deifel. If you don't know already, year 11 here on the Hill as a coach, as the head hog. Is it weird that it's like the season already and that you're ready to roll?
No, no. I think that when you say year 11, it's like, gosh, it's gone by in a flash. And when you're a spring sport, I think sometimes the fall feels long, and then all of a sudden everything speeds up. And so we're ready. It's like we got back, and it's like a blink, and it's go time. But this team's ready, and we're ready to roll. Ready to go this year.
I was going to say, does that give an extra edge for this season for all the returners that are here? Because you return, I mean, gosh, the whole rotation, as well as I think 6 of the infielders from last season. What's the extra edge that can do for this team?
Well, I think any time that you feel a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, a little bit of like you're hungry, you want to prove something, you want to have a chance to get what you feel like is yours, it just changes your motivation. Yeah, we have a ton of returners. We've added some really talented transfers and freshmen, and so we just feel like we have all the pieces that we need to have a really special year.
And I want to touch on kind of the returners, because it feels like in the college game today, it's rare that you bring back your entire rotation with the transfer portal and NIL and all of those kind of things mixed into it. What does it mean that everyone wanted to come back for another year and continue to hunt to get to Oklahoma City for the first time?
Well, it means everything. As college athletics continues to change and there's just more transferring for our whole team to come back, let alone our whole rotation, it's huge. It's huge. It means that they love this place. It means they believe in what we're doing here, and we love our culture. We love who we're around every day, and they do too. And so they just want to do this together and continue to leave their mark on this program.
How is that like, integrating some of the new faces? I mean, Dakota Kennedy from Arizona, the freshman that you mentioned already, and getting this team to where it needs to be right now.
Oh, well, every year there's a new challenge every fall of even though you have so many returners, the entire makeup of the team's different. And so I think for us, that's always the challenge of how do you get Dakota Kennedy and Tiana Bell, who are seniors. They have 1 year here. How do you get them fully in what we're doing? And then your freshmen, we have 5 really talented freshmen. And so every year you're faced with that challenge. Our returners are awesome. They get them ingrained in who we are, what we do really quickly. And I think we're still trying to figure out what the personality of this team is. And I'm not sure we figured out last year's until about halfway fully. But we know that this team takes care of business. They are mature, they take care of themselves, they take care of each other, and they love to compete.
We were talking with Ella McDowell a couple of weeks ago, and she mentioned that they love to have fun. And obviously, Ella is such a big personality. Looking forward to her step in year 2. Curious about that step where you've seen her grow most in the offseason. But before we get to that, like just the fun nature of the team that she was talking about, that they're dancing and singing all the time at practice. What does that do again for team camaraderie and getting this team close to, like you mentioned, finding an identity?
Well, there's something really special about a looseness that comes from a team that just has fun together, loves competing together, loves working hard together, and just leans into each other. It's easy to do on the easy days when things are going well, but that's what we want to see from them when things really start to get hard. And there's going to be a lot on Ella this year because we lost the other corner of big personality, and they just fed off each other. And for Ella, she's such a passionate player. She plays with her heart on her sleeve, so she's going to carry a lot of that. And I'm excited to see what she does this year. I didn't know it was possible, but she came back fitter, stronger, hungrier, and she's ready to have a really big sophomore year.
It's definitely exciting when you have the defense that we've talked about, the pitching, and then you look at the SEC as a whole, and again, it's still the best conference in college softball. What excites you about this team being able to compete, go on the road to the likes of Oklahoma, Texas, and really get challenged and tested before postseason?
Well, that's what you do. That's why you sign up for it. You're going to line it up against the best. They're going to demand your best. You're going to play in hostile environments, whether it's Oklahoma, whether it's Texas, whether it's Tuscaloosa. We're going to, no matter where you go, you're playing in huge stadiums in front of huge fan bases, and you have to figure out how to line it up against some of the best. And so it'll test us. It'll get us ready, and we're ready for it.
Cannot wait to see that. Coach, last thing we've got for you. What's one word so far to describe this team and why?
Business-like.
It's going to be an exciting time. Can't wait for the season to get started. That's Courtney Deifel. Thanks for taking some time. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back. Couple key dates to look at for the Diamond Hogs ahead of the 2026 campaign. Opening weekend here in Arlington. The home opener will be Friday, February 20th, 3 p.m. against Xavier. Right out of that is a midweek set. In-state rival Arkansas State coming to Palm Stadium. SEC play will open March 13th. Norm DeBryan will be celebrated with a special dedication night on March 27th against Florida. Now, some of the top players to look out for this year, A-League. This roster pretty loaded. We got a whole bunch of preseason All-Americans, two guys you talked to right at the top of that list.
Well, Ryder and Gabe Gackel are two guys who are absolutely outstanding. Everybody knows it coming back this season, and they wouldn't be here without one another, and they quite literally grew up on the diamond together.
My first outing I threw to him, I don't know if I threw it within like a 2-foot radius of his body. So I don't know if he was too happy the first time, but I think the strike throwing's gotten a little bit better since then.
Don't worry, Arkansas fans. Razorback pitcher Gabe Gackel isn't talking about freshman year.
When he has a big miss, it's like, oh, it's back in 8th grade again. It's, might be playing Florida, but it's still the same misses. So, but I mean, he's definitely stepped up the strike throwing.
8 years ago, Gackel and Ryder Helfrich teamed up on the diamond for the very first time in California. Fast forward to today, and they're preseason All-Americans at Arkansas.
It's just cool knowing that, I've thrown to him since I was in 8th grade, and so I think being comfortable with each other and trusting each other is a big aspect of a relationship between a catcher and pitcher, and so he might know me better as a pitcher than I know myself. I think that's probably why we work so well together.
And that'll happen when you're teammates for long enough. Gackel threw to Helfrich in all but one appearance he made on the mound during the 2025 season. An 8th grade dream turned to college reality through all the ups and downs that baseball offers up.
It's the failure aspect. I mean, it's a really hard game. You hit and you go 3 for 10 and you're one of the best hitters all time. It's also failing 7 out of 10 times. And I think that teaches you a lot about life. Like life's not an easy game, and baseball's not an easy game. I think it's helped me develop as a human being. And
both of us growing up, I don't know if we had, went through too much failure in high school just because, for the talent we were playing, usually we were the better ones on the field. And so I think getting to college and going through that failure and kind of learning how to deal with it and get through it and move on is a big thing.
The two described the moment, the situation of playing SEC ball together when it started all those years ago, as surreal. But the job is not done yet.
The ultimate goal is a national championship, and that was, we fell short of that last year. And so when you think of the ultimate goal, you just have to come in and work every day, and everything you're doing is to win the last game of the year.
The end goal in mind, and it all starts today. Trey, these two so in sync that they both picked the same karaoke song that they would sing, and it's Mr. Brightside. How about that?
I bet they don't have the same walk-up song. That kind of stuff off limits whenever you're talking to baseball diamond. The Big Trail Nation team far extending the baseball preseason special, not just here in Arlington. We're back in Fayetteville too. Evan Chemico, Mike Irwin standing by with more.
Hey, thanks, Trey. Evan Chemico, Mike Irwin back here in our studios in Northwest Arkansas. Mike, we got some stuff to talk about. Let's have some fun, but let's start with the bad, then we'll get to the good. Arkansas baseball has seen a lot of tough moments since 2018. You go back to the drop fly ball in Omaha that year. Last year, Charles Davalon with 2 outs could have won and sent Arkansas to another game with LSU. And then it didn't happen. You can make the argument Arkansas is cursed. You can make an argument that Arkansas has seen a great fan base that they have, and it is absolutely clear, but also that they win so much that they've gotten to Omaha 8 times under TVH. What's your take on if Arkansas baseball is cursed or blessed?
Yeah, even Norm had a couple of really College World Series that they could have won, and it didn't happen. Fans get frustrated, but Arkansas sends about as big a fan base to the College World Series when they're there as LSU does, and those are the 2 biggest programs in terms of fans. I think as long as you got fans behind you, and as long as you got a coach like Dave Van Horn that knows how to recruit, and I like his staff. He's got a really good staff. It's just a matter of time to me. I don't think they're cursed. I think it's difficult to win it all. I think sometimes when you get over the hump, it gets a little easier. If they win one, they might win a couple more.
Yeah, it might rattle. You've seen that in pro sports recently where one team wins one, and then they get another and they get a little hot. LSU's done that. They've won 2 in the last couple of years. But for this 2026 team to do it, look, if you look at last year, your first-round shortstop who was Golden Spikes winner, he's gone. The kid behind you that threw a no-hitter in the College World Series, he's gone. A lot of opportunity this year for who is going to be here for the Razorbacks. But if Arkansas is going to have a problem in 2026, what do you see it being?
I think the hitting still will be good. I think the pitching will be good. The big question right now is defense. They were pretty good last year, although in the end, defense let them down, and that can happen. That's, we're one of the best defensive teams in the country, and then that last game was like, can anybody catch a ball? Can anybody not do something stupid here? But I think that is what we need to look for early on, especially starting at Arlington, but then when they come back home, how good defensively is this team? And if they have areas where there's a problem, is there a problem at shortstop, a problem at first, second, in the outfield and right field, wherever there is an issue, can you plug in the right person?
When you look at the infield itself, minus the pitcher, you've got Ryder Helfrich, Golden Spikes. I think he truly has a very good shot to win it. Reese Robinette coming back, Cam Kojal coming back as well. Then everybody else is a question mark. Carson Brumbaugh at short, TJ Pompey at third. Your entire outfield is brand new, so a lot of things up in the air for this team. I agree with you. I think its defense could be the big problem for this Arkansas Razorback team in 2026 early. The good news is they're not going to be battling weather week 1.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the Arlington tournament. That's why he wants, I still remember when that wasn't a big thing. They would tend to go to Arizona, they would go out to California or whatever. I like this idea because it gets Arkansas's fans all excited because a lot of them can go down there, a lot of them are already there. There's one other factor that's always a factor, and this is negative, and I'm still going to bring it up. A lot of people feel like that baseball is a non-contact sport because you don't have guys out there running into each other. They do run into each other. Mm-hmm. And the main thing you've got is this baseball flying everywhere, whether it's thrown or hit or whatever. Injuries can pop up at any moment. Yeah. Your best player could suddenly end up gone 2 games into the season. And then what do? So that's the other thing you need to look for. The better teams stay healthy. And if somebody gets hurt, they've got somebody that can back them up.
We saw that last year with Gage Wood getting hurt against Michigan in this tournament. Then, we know what happened there. All right, last thing, Mike, before we toss back to the guys down at Globe Life Field. Dave Van Horn has said that he told Trey Dare that he wants to do this for a long time. He's 5 years older than Norm when Norm called it quits at 65. Does Dave love the game enough, and is it at a point where you could see him doing this into the 70s? About 20 seconds, Mike.
Yes, I think so. And I think people that know him say that. He just loves doing this. And he got through that period where his kid, because the hardest, spending that much time coaching, the hardest part of that is when your kids are younger. Mm-hmm. His kids are all grown now, so he's past that. Now maybe he gets to the grandkids' age and he still wants to do that, but I think he's got a good life. I think his wife supports him. I think they're very happy, and I see him doing this 3, 4, 5 more years.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Can't wait to see what's in store for 2026. Trey, let's send things back to you.
Well done, guys, as always. Great perspective there from Mike Irwin, been covering Arkansas baseball for 50 years. If you made it to the end here with us, thank you so much for watching it. We begin here in Arlington. Hopefully we'll end and see you there in Omaha. And as always, have a great night. Go Hogs.